Oh, you know it. You already know it. You already know it.
All
You
right.
already know.
Hey, man, you got me ready to rock and roll, move and groove, shake and bake, live and love, baby. Albany State
Yes,
University
sir.
in the house.
Yes, 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 indeed. All right, welcome to the 401 Sports Show. Today is August 21st, 2024. He is, I call him Hatchman, Double H, and he's in the building. Mr. Albany State himself. So yeah, we hey look, today's subject is SIAC, and so no better person to have on than Hatchman. So man, Hatch, let's go and jump right into it, man. A little bit of background of why you are Mr. SIAC.
Well, be honest with you, I wouldn't consider myself Mr. SIAC, but I grew up in a culture of Albany State University. My family, pretty much, my mom attended Albany State, graduated, my aunts, everybody. I was the first male in my family to graduate from Albany State. But nevertheless, let's talk about how it all started. My mom, when I moved from Florida, went to a football game, and the football game was against Albany State and Florida A&M. I'll never forget it. FAMU came out in all orange, and I'm talking about they were looking like monster of a men. And we had a running back named Lester Sherman at the time. I'm talking
Okay.
about a speedy running back that he can shake and bake. You talking about somebody that has some nifty footwork? This Lester Sherman was something special. And you can Google him, and you'll probably still find some things on him. But nevertheless, that game and that band from FAMU and how they tore up our field at halftime and we couldn't even see the lines after the
Mm,
first half. But the football game itself was just awesome. FAMU won the game, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, the score was 70-6.
okay,
And
don't we? You know.
and I think Lester Sherman scored our only touchdown of that game, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm telling you, it was a heck of an experience for me to see that. And I was in love with HBCU as we know it now, football. I fell in
Yes,
love.
sir.
So from there, of course, I attended Albany State University. I played tennis for them. I had a great run at that. Me and my doubles partner, who eventually was one of the coaches at Fort Valley basketball program, Michael Moore, who was my doubles partner. We always pride ourselves of being the only doubles team to make it to the semifinals at SIC conference championships. So we were the first to do that. We played against a team from Morehouse and ended up losing. But I tell you, it itself was a great experience for me to be part of a legacy and having the opportunity to be around Coach Oliver Jones with the basketball program, having to be his team manager / I wanted to try to make that team. He would allow me to
Yeah.
practice from time to time. And my roommate, Leonard Wright, who's called Sambo, I would often just try to get at him because I think if I can get at him, I can get coach's attention and he might get me a uniform. But I never got that uniform. but I got an opportunity to travel all around the SIC, different venues, and learn the game of basketball from one of the greatest coaches that I think that was in the SIC. And that was Coach Oliver Jones. So that itself, and then Albany State provided me with a vehicle to learn quite a bit.
Yeah.
Theatrical work. I done some plays at Albany Little Theater. Had a great ball. I mean, Albany State did a whole lot for me, and I will always honor my time there at Albany State University. It was Albany State College when I was there.
Yes, sir.
And so I'm the third generation Ram, and my son went to Albany State. All my cousins, everybody else in the family, that was your destination once you left high school, Albany State.
Man.
So when you come to our home, our Thanksgiving dinner, we talking about how we gonna beat Folk Valley. That's the conversation. That's the conversation. What we gonna do for what we done did to Folk Valley, and while we eating turkey and ham, and we having a good time with the sweet potato pies, discussing next year how we gonna do them again. So having said that, you know, the SIAC is what, 15 member schools among 7 states. You know, that itself is kind of deep. You know, back in the day, most of the schools were built among the churches. The churches had affiliations. Albany State was the Bible Manual Institute. Dr. Holly done an awesome job in 1903 in providing outstanding education for Blacks in Southwest Georgia. So, and it just spread like, you know, it was all around. We had schools up in Atlanta, of course, and Alabama. So, you know, the SIAC is doing quite a bit across the board and providing educations and quality educations for students.
Yes.
And providing them with opportunity on the athletic platform to, you know, be present and do some great things on the athletic fields as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's a great backdrop there with the SIAC. And again, that's what we're going to discuss today. We're going to get that preview from Hatchman here. And there are some of the teams there, you know, of course, obviously, Albany State, Fort Valley State. You have Clark Atlanta in there, Allen, and so on and so forth. So, Hatch is going to give us a nice preview of that. And we definitely appreciate the backdrop, Hatch, with that. And when you mentioned FAMU, FAMU, I noticed like over the years, even up until the 20s, until this 2020s era, you know, FAMU plays Albany State. So what is just kind of what is the
Well,
backdrop
they
on
were
that?
part of the SIAC. They were part of the
Okay,
SIAC.
so they were originally
Yeah,
part
they
of
were
that.
part of
Okay.
Alabama A&M and FAMU was part of the SIAC. Bethune-Cookman, they were part of the SIAC initially, and they broke off and went into the MEAC. Because, you know, they always said that, the grass is green around the septic tank. So they
Yeah.
they decided to do the exodus and head to the other pastures. But FAMU still from time to time. We played FAM last year and had them.
Yeah.
We had them, let them go down in FAM, down in Tallahassee. But
Yeah.
they still play from time to, we're going to have some SIAC schools get a chance to play against some of our bigger institutions of such.
Right. Okay. So like Division Two.
Your Bethune-Cookman,
The Division Ones.
Southern, those are what you would consider the 1A schools compared to the Division II schools we are. We are the Division II member institution. So,
Right.
we pride ourselves on being able to compete with anybody. You know what
That's
I mean?
right.
So, that's something special. One of the things that just came about as a result of us being part of such a distinguished program was that Arthur Blank Foundation decided that they would do just by providing funding for stadiums to be, reupholstered, if you will. And I think 3 or 4 schools took advantage of that. Clark at Atlanta University in Atlanta decided they went with the red field.
Right.
Albany State went with the blue field. Savannah State, I'm thinking they stayed traditional green, and but they have the big orange logo in the middle. And I think Miles College over in Alabama also received some of that funding, that $6.5 million funding from the Arthur Blank Family Foundation. So we want to send our thanks and to Arthur Blank and his foundation for providing those funds for institutions of higher learning that we would look good on the platform just like anybody else. But there are some people like, whoa, why are we getting a blue field and football field supposed to be green? Well, change is coming. We got to understand change and challenge is going to be here for the rest of our lives. So it just all depends on how you manage it, because it's coming.
That's
so
right. I mean,
I'll change now. Our field went from green to blue overnight. And so we're going to have a blue football field this season. So
and it turned blue because of some green that was there.
yeah, that's right.
That
It
was
turned
donated to the
colors
school.
from green. That's a good analogy, a good way of putting it. So we don't want to, get a blessing. We want to take a blessing and make the blessing good. Take a good, you know what I mean? Always make
Yes,
that
sir.
blessing. One bless you with something. Try to, make that blessing a good blessing. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes,
Build on
sir.
that.
Absolutely.
And as we build on that blessing, Quinn Gray, we hadn't, I don't, as of right now, they hadn't named a starting quarterback from my understanding, but guy named Knowles, who came to us last year from Navy, he got hurt against Kentucky State. But that guy shows he has a rocket of an arm. Now, Quinn Gray being a quarterback kind of guy, he came from FAM. He was a FAM quarterback. And he went
Yeah.
on to do some great things in the NFL. So I'm looking forward to I like to say, hey, air attack. I love that air attack. I love to see a passing game. When I went to the Blue and Gold game this past spring, the first play of the game was a 70-yard pass down the middle of the field for a touchdown. And I want to see more of that. And we see that right there. And we got some receivers who can catch a BB in the dark. So we're looking forward to Coach Gray and his crew. Isaiah knows at quarterback, if that's going to be the starting quarterback, because he did show some incredible throws in that Blue and Gold game. So if you had to ask me, from what I saw, he's going to be up under the center in our first game against Valdosta in 2 weeks from now.
Yeah. And there it is too, right there. Valdosta, Albany State, Valdosta. Now these two teams clash pretty much on an annual basis, right?
Yeah, man. And last year again, we let them go at home. We let them get away. We let them run out of the stadium. We had the ball about the scope. We slipped and fell. Oh man, I don't know how that happened, but it was their fate. That also came out there with a victory, about a 2 or 3 point victory in that game. So this year we traveled down to Valdosta, and that's an
Okay.
ugly ride because it seemed like every little whistle that's blown or every flag that's dropped. Especially after a big play, when you see that Blue and Gold. Now, I love officiating because I'm one. But hey, sometimes I be wondering where that hat came from. He couldn't find his flag.
Just wondering.
His hat. Yeah, man. So, but we're looking forward to a great contest, football contest against Valdosta State. I think it's going to be a great game, and I really believe Albany State is going to walk out here with a victory because we are fired up. We got a lot of support. Albany State have a lot of support over the years, and we have a good following. And I think we're going to show up down in Valdosta, and we're going to rock the house. And that little theme song that we play, we're going to hear that often because that's our theme song after we score a touchdown. And I love to hear that along with "I'm So Glad I'm from ABC."
There it is. And there it is.
Hallelujah. Yeah, man. So it gets really exciting. We got a running back at Albany State by the name of Frederick Gaines. He was the SIC newcomer last year, freshman of the year. He can pick him up and put him down. He leave him open. He's gonna run through gaps, and he's gonna do some great things for us this year. Pending no injury. That's what at one point he had a shoulder injury, but he done bounced back, and he's doing some. I'm quite sure he's looking forward to having a great season for the Rams this year because we have a run threat and we have a passing threat offense. So we have a real balanced offense down there at Albany State. But I want to see, we love to see more throwing because we have a quarterback, like I said, he can thread the needle. He can get it out there, and all the guys got to do is catch it. You know what I mean? So we can do that. I think we in great shape. We in great shape. And so we Quinn in his second season at Albany State, we played in the SIAC championship game against powerful Benedict last year up in Atlanta. It's got kind of messy and rainy. But Benedict was powerful. They had a lot going on. Had a lot of big receivers who also can catch BBs in the dark. And they made it work for them in the SIAC championship game over Albany State. So looking forward to that. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So as far as the conference and how it's standing, let's just throw some of the what they have of some of the predicted order of finish and look at the team at the top. I mean, we can start right there, huh?
Well, cream rise to the top, and I don't care what nobody say. You can stir it up any kind of way you want to. Cream going to rise to the top. And we the cream of the crop, and we rise to the top. So you got Albany State, Fort Valley, Miles and Tuskegee, Benedict, Edward Waters. And let me tell you something about now, Benedict going to fall off a little bit there because the simple fact that their head coach went over to South Carolina State and he took a
Right.
trio of players with him, and that's going to kind of hurt him a little bit. But y'all better watch out for Clark Atlanta. We better watch out for Clark. We're talking about, we spent a lot of time about another thing, but Allen University, their coach left, and he went to Clark. And that guy, Teddy Keaton, he's trying to, now he beat us last year in our homecoming. I tipped my hat to him. I gave it to him, man, because he come up in Albany, and like he said, we're going to do, beat us on our homecoming. Now he done took 10 of his players, I think 11, over to Clark with him, including our first team All-American quarterback, David Wright. You talking about somebody that can thread a needle. Ooh, it gets wicked. A receiver going down the field, it seems like he has a ball on the screen. He just throw it to him and it's there, right on the numbers. This guy, and he's just a sophomore. We used to call him back in the day, slot mo. He's just a slot mo. And he's coming in, he's going to be at Clark this year on that red field with that football, which you can't see it until the receiver got it. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be something special. So Clark, again, they took 10 players from Allen, so Allen's going to be at the bottom of the poll because they took 4 all-conference players and took them to Clark. 3 of them on the first team. It's going to be something special.
Yeah, that's a major change.
And it seems like some of the tough quarterbacks, because Fort Valley got one too. They got a good quarterback as well. They coming out of Florida. This boy out of Tampa. You know what I mean? And he's David Wright, man. I saw him as a freshman. I like how he dropped back in the pocket. He hide that ball. Nobody don't know it but him. And all of a sudden, you see ball in the air, and it's on target. So Clark, you might be in for, but you're not going to beat Albany State now. Don't get too antsy. But you're gonna be better than you were because you've had a losing. For the last 10 years, you've had a losing record. So and that's despicable for any program. So now you got a coach that kind of know what he's doing down there. Keaton is going to do a good job. I think he's going to make a difference over at Clark Atlanta University. Lane College got some good players, but right now they're small. So we just look at that. But Tuskegee is another school we want to take a snapshot of because they always in the hunt. Tuskegee tends to have those premier players out of, they get players from the places because of their historical recognition. From California, they get them from Chicago, they getting guys Metro, But the country boys down in Albany don't want them there. We don't nothing about that. Don't care nothing about them city boys. You see what I'm saying? So from what I'm seeing here is that it's going to be in the mix. They're going to be in the mix. You can't never forget about Miles and Arthur Blank. Also bless them. But I think they're going to use their money for their practice field and their soccer fields or something along those lines. And Albany State got money for their soccer field. They're going to redo it as well. Good. And I don't know what color they're going to do it, but I had a friend call me this morning complaining about that blue field. So, we can be, it'll be the, I don't know what they're going to name it. They're going to give it a name. You got to know that. Long as we winning in it, that's fine. But we get to losing it, everybody going to be calling the Smurf field.
Smurf
I can see that coming. Yeah, you go down the Smurf field. But I really believe Albany State is going to do well this year. We have a good nucleus of players and coaches that they believe in what the program is setting up to do. We got a couple of classes here. We got one in New Jersey again, giving some exposure on television 4 times this year. Then we got the big game against Fort Valley down the end of the season on November the 9th over in Columbus, your home, your little stomping ground.
That classic.
The classic, and we expect 25,000, in the parking lot. Everybody ain't gonna be in the stands. You're gonna be in the parking lot, though. You better believe that. Every grill this side of Mississippi, it's gonna be all that home.
It's gonna be there.
All roads lead to Columbus on that day. If you live anywhere around here, you'll see traffic moving and grooving. So that is it. But Fort Valley, they got quarterback Kevin Durham out of Homestead. He won them Homestead.
Yeah, he's good.
Florida, and he's a sturdy quarterback. We hit him a couple of times last year. I think we got him out of the game, got him a little shook up, a little rattled. I think that's what it takes really to get his attention. But Coach Gibbs, in his second year at Fort Valley, he has said that he wanted to dethrone the powers to be, being that Benedict won't probably be in the mix. I don't know, but we'll see. It all remains to be seen. But everybody got the target on Albany State right now. Everybody throwing the bow. They've got the pencil, and they don't pencil that day in when we play Albany State. So, when you got that tag on your back, everybody want to get a piece of it, and they want to take it off your back. So I'm looking forward to that. I really hope it comes down to Albany State Fort Valley like it's normally do in the end of the season. That game, that pivotal game, be the pivotal game to determine who will be the SIAC championship. And I've witnessed many of them.
Yes,
And I've been on the winning end of many of them. many of them. And rejoice all the way back to Macon, Georgia, the following day. Because we had some good times in Columbus. We turned a lot of corners over there and had some wonderful times in that city as we celebrate.
I bet you did.
Over Fort Valley State.
Hey, and the voice that you hear is Harold Hatcher right there. So he's really giving us the great inside information there on the SIAC. You mentioned Durham over at Fort Valley State. He's actually been on the 411 Sports World show. He plans on coming back as well. So hopefully I can maybe even get both of you guys in the same room at some point, which would be very interesting. That would be a very interesting conversation.
I always say, ain't enough room for a Wildcat and a Ram. Ain't enough room for both of them to exist in one space, But be more than happy to be on with the young man. I think he's a hell of a student athlete. I commend him for, again, being a student athlete, first of all, and then being a quarterback at an HBCU. That speaks volumes of character of what kind of young man you are. If you be up in your leadership of many players, over 60 players plus, Coach Durham. Kevin Durham is gonna have a good season, but it's gonna be tough when he play against Albany State because we got to for him too. We're gonna be coming at him. You got to know it. Our homecoming at Albany State is gonna be against Morehouse this year. We went smart. I don't know revenue time because Morehouse was going to show up. They want to see. It's going to be something special. Our homecomings are always special. We have one of the best rows for barbecues and tailgating that you will see. We have a very great setup at Albany State for homecoming. You would love it. Just to put foot on that campus, Albany State campus, unsinkable youth, as many of us call it. But we all Ramley over there. When you get on that campus, you become Ramley. So we're going to have a great time with that. In addition to that, there are some other great games going to be happening. The first game of the season, however, the 1 o'clock tilt, is going to be Fort Valley against Clark in Fort Valley.
What a game.
That's going to be the first one. It's a 1 o'clock game in Fort Valley next week. 1 o'clock start. So it's going to be hot. It's going to be hot. And it's going to be a great game, because that's going to be a test game to see how much Allen, gave up and how much Clark took. That's going to be a good gauge there, and how much Fort Valley going to get. Because them boys coming in to try to beat Fort Valley. You better know it. So all eyes going to be on that game. All eyes going to want to see that, because the exodus of players that left Allen to come to Clark Atlanta University. Why wouldn't you want to be in Atlanta? There's a difference. Carolina ain't bad now. Columbia ain't bad. I visit that city, and it's not a bad city. It's a college city. Matter of fact, they're almost right across the street from each other. So, it's just now you got a different view because you're in Atlanta. You're high rises now. You're going to be around the all the rappers and all the Magic Cities and all that kind of stuff. You have to be careful about that Magic City, though. So the players...
I'm sure they're going to have a curfew. I'm sure they're going to have an early curfew.
Yeah, being where you are in the AU Center, you would need to, because there are a lot of things, again, you want to keep safety at all costs, at being, important part of what we're doing. Even care we having a great time with football or anything. We want to make sure that
Hmm.
our student athletes are safe and doing the right things to progress and graduate from college with a degree that will, propel them to greater things on in life, and they can look back on it. And as I've done, being a former tennis player for Albany State, hey man, I play pickleball now, but and I play a lot of table tennis. Matter of fact, I just left a table tennis round robin down in Jacksonville, where I did kind of well down there. I was hitting the bar, represent this, represent this family too.
Good.
So, but yeah, those are the things. When you're a student athlete, you tend to want to, you have pride in what your institution, how you're learning. You tend to want to, again, invest in your school more than just monetarily investments. I've sent many students to Albany State during my time, many out of Macon, Georgia. I think the most prominent one that most folk know about was Irvin Josie, because he was SIAC All-American, basketball player that done some great things, come out of Macon, Georgia. Didn't even play high school ball, but played for my travel team in basketball. And he already knew the system because everything I took from Albany State, I brought it with me. And I shared it with the young people. And I had many, many others to go to Albany State, not for basketball, but for academics. And Irvin got a degree, and he's coaching out at Daugherty High School. So those are the kind of things that HBCUs, that's what we do. We look out for one another. We build one another. We strengthen and empower one another to do great things. And like Hamp Smith used to tell us, and he's gone on to glory. One thing I had great conversations with some of the legendary coaches, Obie O'Neill and all those guys who've gone on to glory. But Hamp used to tell us, you got to push. That's what you got to do. You got to push. And I always use that term even when we're losing a football game or anything, that I'm there and the fans around me are getting kind of antsy about, getting anxious about we losing. And I said, no, y'all ain't pushing. We got to push them. And true enough, Fort Valley last year, I kept saying it around my crew. And every time we do something special, I said, I have to keep telling you, as long as you're pushing, they'll keep rushing. And we'll
There it
keep
is.
touchdown, Albany State University, and that theme song continue to play. So, but yeah, man, we excited about this year, football season. We're excited about a lot of great things that's happening in HBCUs all around the conference. We know we're one of the highest attendance in the whole Black college sports. SIC is highest attendance is among our member institutions. So that should tell you something. Even though those schools are bigger than, we still have more people at our games. And that's
Support. Yeah, the great support spirit and camaraderie.
Right. So if we continue to do the things that we ought to do, and in the name of the legacies and in honor of those like Dr. Holly, who put everything out to help Albany State be the school that it is now today, and all the other former presidents who've gone on to glory, that those founders who made a lot of sacrifices. It wasn't just talking about money here. They were talking about your life. They put their life on the line to make sure these schools were taken care of. So we have to honor them as well in everything that we do. So that's why I'm so I guess my passion. Because I understand that. Because I lived it and I've been part of it. And I want to continue to be part of it as long as I'm here on this earth. I want to be able to do all I can for Albany State University. And I will also support other HBCUs and other, schools as I can, But in my first order of business is that down there in Southwest Georgia, man.
Oh, we know that, Hatch, and it's just like you giving honor to the people, the men and women before you. Honors should be bestowed upon you as well, because you carried that torch well, Hatch. You touched a lot of lives through the years. And when we get back together, there's plenty more time to get into more details of that. But you have hundreds of examples, man, that you definitely deserve some credit on, and made changes in not only in your community in Albany, but the community in Middle Georgia and all over the place, because of the people that you touch through the years as well. So I can't wait for us to talk about that down the line. As far as the SIAC goes, you brought up a huge matchup with Clark Atlanta and Fort Valley State. Everyone needs to make sure they tune in for that matchup. Also, HBCU.go, they're making a huge push as far as airing more football games this year, better improving the quality of the coverage of the games and et cetera. So we all need to tune in to HBCU.go as well, get that app and do all that things because all this is supporting all these schools. The movement that is happening, you can kind of feel it, like with the new
Mhm.
fields, Arthur Blank. He's not going to be the last to step up now. You know what I'm saying? I believe this is the movement that is going on, and it needs to go on because there is a disparity when it comes to institutions, if you will, the
Mhm.
PWIs, the HBCUs, the smaller HBCUs, the 1A HBCUs, and there's just a disparity all the way across the board. And these institutions need the support, and and because of what you really drill down to, and that's educating our students. You know what I'm saying?
Most important
So
part.
yeah, definitely. So that's what we're looking at, man. I know you have to get out of here because you have another function you got to get to. But any remarks you want to close us with as we're preparing for the SIAC season?
Well, I want to reiterate what you just made mention of is that we get out and support the HBCUs and get out and rally around your favorite. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. And the matter of fact, enjoy it to the fullest thereof, and continue to push the agenda to send students to these remarkable institutions of higher learning, and give God his due. I mean, to God
Yes,
be the glory in everything that we do. So we want to make sure we don't forget, where we come from. We want to continue to pass that torch, like you mentioned earlier before. I mean, I have no, I had no choice because it's instilled in me, to do the right thing, and I'm going to continue to do the right thing. And get excited about doing the right thing. That's a key component as well. You just don't do it; just get excited about it, and that way you'll do a better job at what you're trying to accomplish. So, 411, you're doing a great thing here, man, with your podcasts and sharing the information, getting a diverse agendas out, that we can speak on, other folk can hear about, and can promote. You're promoting some great things, man, and I'm glad to be part of your 411 connection. I look forward to doing some great things with you down the road. We got some stuff on the agenda that we got to take care of, and I'm looking forward to that because, again, you got to bring the excitement to the table. All right,
yes, sir.
got to
Yes,
bring it.
sir. Love that energy, had love that energy.
So,
All
hey,
right.
listens to you and everybody again. Albany State in the house. I'm so glad I'm from ASU. One love, everybody. Blessings.
All right, Hatch. We'll see you. Everybody have a great one. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, and share
Yeah,
because
man.
sharing is caring.